A simple vegetable tart is a great recipe to have in your cooking repertoire. It's fast, it's easy to make, and it has the added payoff of making you look like some kind of sophisticated French culinary master. This tart has three major components. Actually, most tarts have three major components. You have the pastry, you have a super flavorful fat layer in between made out of a cheese or a cream or a pesto, and then you have your title ingredients like the tomatoes in a tomato tart. Now for the pastry crust, you could make something by hand if you really want to, but you could also just pick up a pack of puff pastry from the grocery store, which is inexpensive, easy to use, and easy to find. For this recipe, I'm going to use creme fraiche, which is basically a thickened version of sour cream. But you could also use cream cheese, goat's cheese, ricotta, even hummus. Basically anything that is creamy and will be a good canvas for the other things we're going to add. Lemon zest, herbs, salt, and pepper to amp up the flavor, and then a little bit of milk to loosen up the mixture and make it easier to spread. One of the many reasons that we love fat so much is because it's a better vehicle for flavor than water is. Those flavor molecules get suspended in the fat, which then coats your tongue and allows us to actually taste it for longer. Vegetables and other ingredients like it are made of predominantly water, which is why when you pair it with something like fat, it actually makes all of those flavors bigger and more enjoyable. I'm going to be making a tart with zucchini, lemon, and red onion. But you can use pretty much any vegetable here and get really creative with this base recipe. You just need to make sure that you think through how you are actually going to prepare the tart. The pastry is going to take about 20 minutes to cook, which means that any toppings we use are going to need to be cooked within that time as well. So if you use something that's heartier, that would take longer to cook like a root vegetable, we want to make sure that we either roast it or parboil it, or slice those vegetables thinly enough to make sure that they're going to be fully cooked by the time we take that pastry out of the oven. You might have noticed that lemon is the only acidic ingredient that we're using in this tart. Remember that super flavorful fat layer we were talking about? Well, that's like putting weight on one side of the scale, and unless we put something on the other side of the scale, this entire recipe is going to taste off-kilter. That's where acid comes in. One of the ways that fat affects your taste buds is by dampening your ability to taste salt. Acid, on the other hand, heightens your ability to taste salt. And salt, as we know, is one of the best natural flavor enhancers around. So if you're experimenting with other flavor combinations, just make sure you add in an acidic element, a balsamic drizzle, some pickled vegetables, lemon like we're doing today, and you'll make sure that that recipe is actually balanced in all of the flavors when you eat it. I like to shingle the zucchini slices onto the tart, adding in the red onion and lemon. Depending on how much time you have though, you can also just scatter everything on top, making sure that it's all spread evenly over the pastry. We're just going to add an egg wash at the end so it gets that really nice appealing golden brown color, and then we'll be set to go. When I'm developing recipes, I rate them off of a few criteria. How easy is it to find the ingredients? How expensive will it be? How simple will it be to make it? And is it something that I can scale up for feeding large groups of people? So on these 4 criteria, here's how I would rate this dish. All of these ingredients are readily available at a standard grocery store. This is a cheap recipe, especially if you are buying vegetables that are in season. This recipe is more about assembly than anything else, so you'll probably only spend about 15 or 20 minutes putting it together, then pop it into the oven and you're done. You can easily double or even triple this recipe, make it ahead of time, and serve it at room temperature. Your only real limitation is your oven space. If you want to make several of these tarts, you'll probably spend a while hovering near your oven and baking them in shifts. Hit like and subscribe for more recipes and videos, and I'll see you next time.